Welcome to the Getting Through Today podcast. I'm Brita. Come along with me as I share my story of the ups and downs through chronic illness and depression, all while being a mother of 5. I know healing is possible, and through every phase there is beauty, even if we don't always see it at the time. I know what it feels like to just get through one day at a time. Let's get started. Hello and welcome back. I had meant to record a back to school episode weeks ago. In fact, I did record it, and then my external hard drive crashed and I lost the whole thing. And honestly, it kind of felt like a metaphor for the entire season that I'm in. Because even though I had good intentions to be consistent, to show up, to post a podcast, life had other plans. I've spent the last couple months caregiving, supporting my family, and healing from a surprise case of diverticulitis. And which, if you don't know, basically meant a short hospital stay, IV antibiotics, IV fluids, a liquid diet, soft foods for 3 weeks, and a really humbling reminder that the body always wins. And right when I was starting to feel somewhat normal again, then I got a yeast infection from the antibiotics. It's just been a lot, and sorry if that's TMI. Sometimes I just share too much. So I haven't posted in a while, haven't recorded, but I'm here now. And if you're here too, catching your breath, maybe even crawling back into your rhythm after everything fell apart, you're in good company. I feel for me that back to school always brings this emotional shift. On the surface, it's just everything getting back to a schedule, alarms going off, all the things that you have to sign, making sure everybody's out the door at the right time, football practice, getting to activities, choir concerts, all the things, homework. And I feel like the daily chores get a little bit more ignored. Maybe they were already ignored in the summer, but they're still getting ignored. But somewhere in all of that, I'm still trying to do the deeper things, checking in with my kids emotionally, asking them questions that go beyond how was school, trying to catch the quiet signs that they could be overwhelmed, excited, lonely, or changing, trying to connect with them, even if it's just through a simple car ride or going to play ping pong at night. Just trying to get them to know that I see them, I love them, and I'm here. And so, yes, a part of me loves going back to school because of the schedules, but also there's this ache for me because summer always feels like it goes too fast. I love the late nights, laughing, playing, all of the things. But then it makes me remember when they were little. And now I have my 3rd child is going to graduate this year, and they're just growing so fast. And I've had 2 daughters already graduate. And then after the senior that's graduating this year, I have a junior and an 8th grader. And I feel like the time has gone by way too fast. So I've just been soaking up all the time that I have with them. Just the little moments we have, the big moments, just trying to enjoy it because I know that my kids won't live with me forever. It's interesting. When my kids were little, people always told me, oh, it'll go so fast. And I just kind of look at them like, oh, okay. I didn't really believe them, especially because I was dealing with chronic illness, trying to parent, and there were so many days that felt so long and the years felt so long because I was just surviving. But now I get it. And let me say this clearly. If you are in the thick of it with your little ones, if you're maxed out, if you're sleep deprived, if you're holding back tears while stepping on Legos, just don't let anyone guilt you into enjoying every moment. I don't feel like that's real life. It wasn't for me. You won't miss every moment, but you will miss some things. And I miss a lot of things. I loved the simplicity of little kids and the things we did together and all the good stuff and the tenderness that I've had with my children. But just give yourself grace. Maybe just let the laundry wait. Say yes to an extra story, an extra snuggle. Have that silly dance party. Really lean into the moment, but also let the hard days be hard. You don't have to enjoy it all, but you do need to live it. Just be present, not perfect. I think that's the goal. I love being a mom. I love supporting my kids. I love guiding them. I love loving them. Even when I'm exhausted, even when there's so much going on, I just love being a mom. So whether this season makes you want to cry or dance or both, I see you. You're doing more than enough. And however your love shows up for yourself and your kids, that's perfect. We're all living a different story. We're all walking a different path. And it's the right way that you're doing it. So if you're navigating back to school, I know it's now in the middle of November. Maybe you've been used to the new back to school schedule. I feel like maybe part of it is because I'm just finally feeling like I'm in the swing of things and it's November. Almost the holidays where everything gets messed up again. But just know that wherever you're at is perfect. I know I talked about I had diverticulitis. I feel like sometimes our bodies are like, hey, you need to slow down a little. But mine skipped whispering to me and just shut me down. Out of nowhere, I had stomach pain. I was nauseated. I was vomiting, and I actually thought I had a bladder infection because I used to get these kind of stomach pains a lot of years ago. I really debated going to the doctor, but when I started vomiting, I was like, oh, maybe we better check this out. And when I went to urgent care, they did a CT scan and they saw that I had diverticulitis, and I had never had it. I didn't know what it was, but I was on a liquid diet for I think at least a week, and then I could start eating soft foods. But it took me a good 3 or 4 weeks to start eating again. And I had to rest again. And resting sounds wonderful until you remember I'm a mom, I'm a caregiver, I run a business, I also have a full-time job, and I'm just trying to be a functioning human. So having these kind of health issues out of the blue is a little bit hard because I have so much on my plate. And then, like I said, when I started feeling better from that, I was on antibiotics because I had quite an infection going on. Then I had the yeast infection. Like I said, TMI, if you don't want to hear this, skip ahead, but those are just annoying. So then I had to treat that. And then, I'll just be honest, I had a uterine ablation many years ago, and so I rarely get menstrual bleeding. But for whatever reason, after the diverticulitis, the yeast infection, my body was like, well, why not just bleed for 15 days? So that was really a little crazy. But I finally went to the doctor, and I have a UTI. So that's another infection. So I have to get on antibiotics again. So I'll be upping my probiotics. And now we're just running some tests to just figure out what else might be going on. Hopefully just something simple like a hormonal imbalance. You know, I ran all the tests and we'll wait to hear back, but it sounds like I might just need a little more estrogen. But I'm just kind of laughing. I had a friend this week. I was just kind of saying, oh, and in the midst of this, I also was driving last week and a girl ran into my car. And so in the midst of all of this is going on, then I was a little shook up from that. I wasn't hurt or anything. Nobody was hurt in the accident, but it was just, then we had to take our van in to get fixed. And then we had to have a rental while it was getting fixed. And it was just a lot to manage. And I'm just sitting there like, what is happening? What is happening in my life? And I was talking to one of my close friends and I was telling her kind of what was going on. And she's like, oh my gosh, your life sounds worse than the books I've been reading. And I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, well, you know how you kind of read a book and they have a lot of things going on. And you're kind of like, that doesn't all happen to one person. She's like, it is happening to you. And so we kind of had a good laugh about that because lately I just feel like there's just been a lot of extra things on top of the already hard things that I've been dealing with. Yeah, it's just been a lot. But here's the thing, as uncomfortable and annoying as some of these things have been and how much it has disrupted my life, I also see a lot of good things. And I am really listening to my body. And maybe this is just what I needed, not just physically, but emotionally, just to remember to rest, to honor where I'm at. And maybe all this, I don't know why. I keep wondering if there's a reason why all this is happening, if somehow I'm causing it to happen subconsciously. I don't know, but I feel like I try to be a really positive person if I can. And I've just decided that I'm just going to do my best. I can't control all these outside things that are happening. I'm eating healthy. I'm going on my walks. I'm journaling at night. I take Epsom salt baths. So I feel like I'm doing the things I can, and there's just a lot going on that's out of my control. And I've just decided that I'm not going to be ashamed or embarrassed that my life isn't going the way I want it. But I'm going to try to look for all the beauty, the good things along the way, the happiness, the joy. And I'm also going to sit and cry when I need to. That's just where I'm at. I'm just living the best I can. And then, of course, I know I've talked about this on top of all of that stuff that's been going on. I've also been caregiving for someone that I really love. And I haven't shared much about it publicly. And it's not because I'm hiding it, but because it's not just my story to tell. It's a tender experience with someone that I really care about. Caregiving is both beautiful and brutal. It has been stretching me in ways I didn't know I could bend. I have had to have more patience, compassion, presence. And I am stretched with my schedule. If you looked at a day in my life, you'd be wondering how I was getting it all done. I have just been so honored to show up and help this person, to be the person they lean on, to witness their pain and their strength. But this season I'm in, I have cried and cried by myself on the car rides home. I've cried in my bed when everyone else has gone to sleep. I cry in my husband's arms, overwhelmed and unsure how I was going to keep making it through the next day, watching the suffering and pain of my friend. And it's kind of that quiet heartbreak. It's the kind where you put on a brave face because someone else needs you to. And it's a quiet kind of love, the kind that doesn't need recognition or praise. You're just showing up again and again, even when your tank might be empty. And of course, I have cried with this person as well. I'm not just crying alone when I leave, and I am not holding everything together when I'm with them, but it's just been tough. As I sit here and talk about all the things that I've been doing, all the people I've been holding space for, all the extra errands I've been running, something had to give, of course. And for me, that was podcasting and my social media. And it's not because I don't love this, because I love it. Man, you put me in my sound booth and talk for hours. I love it. But it was just too much. With everything that I had going on, I was just maxed out. I'm pretty excited that I'm back. I feel like a lot of times when things get crazy, the things that I love get put on the back burner. And I was talking to my husband. I was like, you know what? Things are crazy right now, but I don't want my stuff, the stuff I love, to stop. So I'm going to keep doing it. It might not be as frequent. It might not be as consistent, but I want to keep doing these things because it makes me happy. It really fulfills me. And podcasting is one of those things. If you know me very well, you know I love to talk. So what a better thing for me to do than to podcast, right? All of this that I've been going through, it's just reminded me that showing up in integrity for myself sometimes means not showing up for certain things. And I'm just really grateful to be ready to do this some more and to give myself a little more compassion and be gentle with myself as I'm navigating a lot of tough things. I feel like I've just been in the thick of it, in the messes, the quiet, the caregiving, the doctor's appointments, crying, laughing, tiny wins that no one saw, like drinking enough water or actually doing my hair. And I'm just exhausted. But I know I'm not the only one. And I am sure that I'm not the only one that's going through a lot of difficult things. And if you're going through a hard thing right now, just know that healing doesn't always look like journaling or doing affirmations or recording a podcast. Sometimes healing is just survival. It's stepping away from all the shoulds, all the to-dos, and just giving yourself permission to get through the day. You don't always have to thrive or crush your goals. It's some days you just have to make it through. And really, that's what I've been doing. There's been plenty of nights where I've gone to bed with a messy house, or I haven't answered all my emails. And I've just allowed myself to pause. Some nights when I felt like I should be doing something more, then I have just sat and relaxed and watched a movie, and that's been good for me too. And I think what I love about this space is it's never been about pretending that everything's okay. I mean, I really never thought I would talk about my menstrual cycle through a microphone and share it with anyone. But here I am. I just feel like telling what's going on with me it's healing for me, but I also know I'm not the only one going through things. And when I hear people just telling their story and just giving all the details, I love it. So that's where I am. I am not holding it all together. I'm really just trying to get through one day at a time. And of course, over and over, I'm learning that I can't do it all, even when I really want to. I have a lot of energy. When I feel good, I feel like I can do everything, but I still have a limit. I kind of feel like my body always knows my limit before my mind does. My mind just thinks I'm an 18-year-old that can just go and go and go. But my body knows I'm a 45-year-old woman with pain, fatigue, inflammation, tears, all the things. So I'm learning to listen to my body. And not with judgment or shame, but more compassion. I tell people, be gentle with yourself, and I'm doing that for myself. And it's wisdom when we listen to our body, when we slow down. We all need time to catch our breath. And I'm learning to pause more, take a break, and really nurture myself in the ways that feel good to me. And we all know that our worth is not tied to how much we carry. But it is hard when we have so much to get done and there's only a certain amount of hours in the day. We really have to choose what we're doing and what we're not doing. Really intentional how we spend our time. And I'm still healing. I'm still learning how to be gentle with myself. I'm still figuring out what this next season looks like for me in every way, in creatively, emotionally, physically. And I'm just happy with the things that I'm able to do. I'm not worried about the things that I'm not doing. I'm reminding myself that taking the time to do the things that I love is really healing for me. So if you're going through a hard time, which most people I talk to are, be intentional with how you're spending your time. Say no to the things that don't resonate with you. Say yes to the things that will give you a little fun. And just try to enjoy where you're at. That's what I'm just trying to do today. I am not showing up here as this expert or this professional host. It's just me. I'm just this person showing who I am to the people that are wanting to listen and hoping that I can give you a little hope going forward that no matter what you're going through, you can keep going. You can get through today. You can make it through today. I promise. And if today's episode spoke to you, send me a message. Tell me where you've been. I'd love to hold space for you too. I love hearing people's stories. And in fact, this last couple of weeks, I've been interviewing some people for my podcast. And starting in January, I'm going to have these episodes airing. And I'm so excited for you to hear their stories and so many people from different walks of life to see how they are getting through today, because I think a lot of us, that's all we can do. So if you're just surviving right now, just know you're not behind, you're not failing. You're exactly where you need to be. Give yourself a little more grace. Please be gentle with yourself. This is getting through today, and that's what we're going to keep doing together.